Hello and hey, welcome to Monkey Business. I'm Nick, aka Dad, and usually we've got Addie here, also known as Monkey, here to help me and show some different products we have. And this week though, it just came in. It was something that I've been kind of looking for, something that would help us kind of show what we're doing in our Bronco, take some better video, not just inside the cab, but we wanted something outside the cab that would show you the terrain we're on, maybe the obstacles that are coming up to us, but still in a really fun way. So yeah, had a product come in here and just wanted to show it to you. It won't take long. It's a pretty short video today, but just might be something you'd be interested in, and we'll put a link down below in the description. Well, this is what we just got. This is a kit that will go on to your trail sight. This bracket here will mount right up to that. But it allows you to be able to put like a GoPro or an action camera onto your trail sight so you can record the obstacles that are in front of you with really good clarity then, but then also just give a, kind of a point of view for those that may be watching your video. But yeah, we've been looking for something similar to this and finally found something on Amazon. We'll put a link, like I said, down below of this product. But yeah, let's put this together and see how it looks. So here's what you're going to get. In your kit, you'll get the bracket that'll mount to the trail sight. You'll also get what looks kind of like a Picatinny rail here. This is what will mount the actual GoPro mount to the bracket. You've got a couple really nice machined recessed screws that take a hex head or an Allen wrench. You've got two more bolts that are actually, if I remember right, these are called like security heads, basically. So you've got that little tab there in the middle. Should help for people not to just walk by and be able to take it off. And then a couple washers. You have the GoPro mount, and then the little locking pin to basically screw in. Which, again, though, this is a little bit nicer when I got with my GoPro. It doesn't have the little screw head in there. It actually just is one piece, it seems like. But yeah, nicely well made. Feels pretty sturdy. A little bit better than just a piece of plastic, it feels like. And then another thing you'll get are a couple of these. You get, well, the hex head, but then this one is actually the security star bit here on both ends. So you see you got that little recess down in there on both sides here, just to help you to tighten those down. But again, if you keep it on the Bronco while you're out and about on the trail and that, as long as someone doesn't have another, security key basically for the star bit here, should be able to leave it on. But again, you never know what'll happen out there. So looking over how this is put together, a couple of things you're probably going to want is either some adjustable pliers like I've got here, or I've also pulled out my ratchet and an 8mm socket to help us put the brackets together. Also, I did notice that the Allen wrench that they give you didn't quite fit the machine screws, so I went to my set and I pulled out a 3mm Allen wrench, which actually fit way better. The one they give you in the kit seemed like it was a little bit too big, so went to my toolbox and pulled out one of mine, and 3mm fit those machine screws. So we'll use that instead. This is our main bracket here. We'll use this to basically mount that Picatinny rail to. And this is, actually, I didn't even tell you this. This is from JHD. This is their Togo for a GoPro camera mount for 2- and 4-door Broncos. But yeah, works just right off your trail sight with this bracket here. So we'll mount our Picatinny rail here to this rail using our 2 machine screws here and the 2 little nuts that are provided. All right, we'll mount this now, the Picatinny rail, to the bracket for the trail sights. One thing to note too, that these nuts do have a nylon thread in them, so should hold up pretty well and not have to worry about them backing off if you're out there on the trail and come into some pretty hard stuff. Here's where we'll use our 8mm socket and use my Allen wrench or hex key here, and we will put this the right way there. We'll just tighten this guy down here. Now, if you've never used a Picatinny before, you're going to want it to where the grooves are up here on the top, and then your profile looks like this, because then what you'll do is you will take your mount, and you've got where this then will slide directly onto your rail. Slide it right into the middle, and then you use this toggle here just to spin that down. And what this will do, whoops, wrong way. What this will do will actually tighten two different spots. It will tighten onto the Picatinny rail, but then also it will tighten the action here as well. So once you get to where you want, whether you want it to be facing a little bit forward, a little bit back, just make sure you got it where you want it, so as you tighten it down, it doesn't get too out of where you want it from. And it is a little bit tight when you're trying to get, there we go. So now we're tight. I did notice too that this can swivel. You'll use an Allen wrench down here to actually loosen this up so you can twist this around. All right, now that we have everything tightened up, and like I said, if you wanted to be able to turn this top mount, you just have to loosen up this Allen head down here just to move this around. You take your GoPro, tighten this down here, and then let's go over to the Bronco and show you how we'll use these last two bolts and washers to attach it to the Bronco. All right, I'm on the passenger side Trail Sight, and I'm using their Allen key here, or actually this is a star bit. I think it's like what they call an e-Torx. But yeah, it is, so it's an anti, theft, or, whatever you want to call it, with that little recess in their bit. But this will actually work on the Bronco as well. It fits right in there. So we'll just use this for now to loosen this up. We'll take out both of these, and then I'll show you how to tighten everything down here. So get these two loose first, and then we'll meet right back here. All right, so we've got the bolts out of here. One thing to note too, if you're having some issues, what looks like a bolt head over here and here, those will just start to spin, because what they do is they go straight through and basically hold that in. So I just put some finger pressure back here when I undid mine, and they came out just fine. You may have to get another Torx bit to be able to take these little bolts out. You can see there is a little, mine does have the blue Loctite on it, but really didn't hold real tightly. So now we'll put on the new bracket. Now, one thing I was thinking about too, I was going to mount this on the outside of the Bronco Trail Sight here, which would, be kind of cool. But you could also flip it around though too and go to the inside, which may help protect the camera a little bit more, but not a bunch. But yeah, you could reverse it from one side to the other if you wanted to. You just got to flip basically the mount around. So now the camera will be going more forward versus this one being a little bit more back then. But totally up to you on how you want to do it. Well, we were talking about which way we're going to mount it. Like I said, I'm going to do mine on the outside of the Trail Sight. Now, too, if you wanted to mount yours on the inside, you just need to take the bolts that were on the inside, what the actual bolt threads into. You're just going to want to swap that onto the other side. So we're going to mount it out in here, and we'll use the bolts and washers that were provided. Okay, so I put my bolt through the washer and then just kind of held down the back. If you start them obviously fairly straight, they do actually feel like they take pretty well, and you can get them almost finger tight by holding the back. Now, what I am finding out though is to tighten these all the way down, you're going to want to use your Torx bit from your Bronco kit to be able to tighten this down here. So let's get that Torx bit out here so we can tighten these guys down and be done with this installation. Okay, so like I said, you're going to want to tighten this down. A lot of the bits in the Bronco kit are either, I think it was a Torx 30 or a Torx, I want to say the other one was like a 40 or 45P. But yeah, either way, you can use the Bronco kit or you can just get one out of your tool bench and tighten these guys down. I wouldn't go too tight. You can, as I'm just tightening them down just a little bit and snugging them up, you can hear them cracking a little bit. Probably you don't want to go too tight here, but yeah, nice and sturdy here. Now we've got a GoPro mount that we can adjust just a little bit here and there. Also, you've got those 2 bolts from the original Bronco piece here. You don't want to lose those, so I always suggest with your Bronco kit, you've got a couple pockets in there. Why don't you put these in there so you don't lose them? So when you do take this off, you can just replace them. But now you've got some adjustability here. You just loosen this guy up here and you can slide back and forth just a little bit. You can move this up a little bit, and it doesn't take much to tighten it down and loosen it either. So and I would probably make sure too that when you are adjusting it, that the little tab here that actually tightens down, you might want to make sure that that's facing backward or something so it doesn't get caught on a tree branch or something. But this would be this could be a really nice addition to be able to show a lot of our trail stuff as we're out driving around. Even if we're doing some stuff with the Bronco on the road, be just a neat way to be able to film from a different point of view. Hey, thanks for watching. As always, Monk and I appreciate you watching our channel. And yeah, this mount actually worked out really easily. I mean, we'll put that link down below so you can find it on Amazon. But again, just another neat way to be able to hold on to the adventures you take with your off-road vehicle. They don't make them just for Bronco. I did see that they have them for Jeep as well. I'm sure they have other adaptations for anybody using anything out there, whether it's a 4Runner, an FJ, whatever it might be. Probably have a mount available for you as well. But my overall view, it's a nice sturdy piece. I don't feel like it's going to go anywhere, especially with those nylon threads for those nuts down here. And then just the construction of it overall feels pretty solid. So again, thanks for watching. We really appreciate it, and have a blessed day. Bye.